any more feces from that area. Particular vehicle you may have seen in the arena earlier on, we were using it for our stage. This has got an affectionate name as the Rare One. Quite true enough, because it's the only one. There isn't another one of these anywhere. And if you look at it, any of you eagle-eyed people, you'll see the engine is underslung underneath, because this is built on a Leyland Tiger Cub bus chassis. It was owned by a company called Clayton DeWander, who are brake specialists, and they built 2 of these as test rigs for testing their brake products. The other one was sadly scrapped and listen to that. Love it to bits. Double drive, go anywhere. Steve Mail restoration at its best. Moving on a bit now to the 80s. The EC tells me it's an E-Series Cummins engine. What a lovely thing these things were. Built for general road use, and yet it's got a Rolls-Royce Eagle badge on the front. What's in it? A roller. Well, I'm doing a scam off your sabre with a roller in it at the moment, and well started up. You saw George Wood's Iron Coupe lorry. This is the model that came after it, the Model F. Stevenson's Dye Works at Dambergate had loads of these with van bodies on. This one's got a bull grain body on the back, worked over in Lincolnshire a lot of its life. 6-cylinder diesel engine in it, owned by driven by a good friend Michael. And what a lovely thing it is. Go on, Michael. Pass our best on to John. There was quite a competition at one time. The Bedford O-types were outselling everything. Nobody could get anywhere near it. And Austin designed their K-type series, which got nicknamed the Birmingham Bedford because they were very much like them. This is the one after. This is the Austin Lodestar. And I just said yesterday, I was sat watching that Aussie Gold Hunters on telly. I don't know if you've seen it. There was one of these, just a chassis cab, disposed of in the outback, and they were throwing it about it. Could have done with that, it'd be in better condition than a lot of the others, but again, straight to the 40s, early 50s, just as you would see them. Lovely motor. The gears are in there somewhere, folks. God bless you. Around about the same time, just after the war, a lot of the lorries had been ex-army lorries. Ford had brought their Canadian V8s across, very, very thirsty. So Ford's attempt in the very early 50s was the Ford Thames ET6. Ford's named it to start with, then the 4D that you would get in your tractor. Owned by Kevin Mather from up there at Chesterfield, very nicely turned out, and driven by a good old mate of mine, Bill Thorpe. God bless you, Bill. And if you wonder what it does, that back end tips down and things go on the back of it. Thames 100E body shell, but it basically is a 300E Ford Thames. Now the grille in the front of it is off the Ford Prefect model. You'll hear more about that when we go around cars, because the Prefect down in the middle of the railway centre the other day. I'm always looking at what other people are doing, and this is a proper Bedford O-type. Just listen to that. The early ones came out with a 27 horsepower, but this is being 28 horsepower in these. A lot were changed to the Perkins diesel engine in these. Talking about the Midland Railway Centre is this lovely Midland General AEC region from the late 1940s. In its original colour of the MG Omnibus Company, belongs to Mr. John Peck. And I like John because he still kept the original roller blind on the top. Anybody local will know that E4 was Wessington and Brangfield, E5 was Wheatcroft, E3 was Matlock Old Fritton via Wessington, Tansley to Matlock, E2 was Old Fritton to Matlock via Holloway and Crouch, and so forth. F6 was always a double-decker route over here. Very nicely turned out and very original. God bless you, Mr. Peck. Just don't get stuck in them Nicely, nicely. Oh, look at that. He's got a double decker, but I think he's hiding it. I'm waiting for him to bring it out. God bless you. Hey, I hope this paid. Body shop, Jennings Motor Panels, but this is a different one. This particular cab was built by the Willenhall Radiator Company, because a lot of the export models we have had daft fiberglass cabs, they had metal cabs and ERF. On the gearbox in one of them is, oh, beautiful. Now, there's been an absolute craze on step-side pickups. A lot to do with wheeler dealers and things like that. Anybody follow that? Wayne Carini, absolutely superb guy. And these guys, they're always fooling you because they take the engine out, they do all sorts. It's a cracking motor. What year is that, young man? 1950s. Have you done it yourselves? Friended. That is absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. Go on, get out, I'll be trying to buy it off you. Go on, beautiful. Just listen to that V8. Woof, woof, woof. Isn't that something else? Right. Where's my weight, Will? Right. It's been a sad year for everybody. The vintage vehicle circuit round this neck of the woods. We've lost quite a lot of decent people. I've known this bus practically all my life. My wife used to go to school on it. KNU dates back from 1946. It's an AEC Regent with AEC engine, 6-cylinder diesel engine in it. And it's the last, to my knowledge, bus, it's not a coach, bus that belonged to the Silver Service, Woolliscroft company down in Darlingdale. Oh, God bless you, young man. Thinking about you. Well, I'm hoping my dog team are ready because we're going to be running behind a little bit. I'm trying to push them on, but a name I've only mentioned in passing, the name was Scammell. Well, Scammell were built down at Watford in Hertfordshire and were taken over by Leyland in the mid-50s. This Scammell junior constructor, very, very powerful, 6-wheel drive. Notice the motorcycle mudguards because before hydraulic cranes they needed to get in as high as low, as close as they can. You notice how the mudguards are turning? very slow, 50 mile an hour flat out. They would run in convoys of about 3. This one's owned by Mr. George Scruggs from Darley-Dale. But just listen to that. Beautiful. Well, Lee Brothers are very well known for their fleet of restored Dodgers. The number plate tells me it's 1965, RF is Staffordshire. Very unusual engine in it because it's got the metal aluminium grills on the front. The Leyland engine ones didn't have that, but absolutely beautiful. Love these things. It's got a Vista View cab on it, what we used to call the LAD cab. The Leyland, Albion and Dodge use the same shell roughly, but that's beautiful. Very nice item. Moving on to the military stuff. The name of Diamond T and Rio joined together to get the Diamond Rio. And you look at this thing, what a piece of kit. Notice the big heavy winch on the front. Notice the exhaust up at the top. This thing could go through water up to about the door level. A lot of these used out in Vietnam and all places like that. After the Bedford O type that we've been seeing, came the Bedford S type. The S type had this very features, and notice he's still got the gun hatch on the top. Oh! Any of you people that's into mechanical handling will know the name of Lansing Bagel, known nowadays as Lansing Lindy. Not Dancing Lindy. They're based at Basingstoke in Hampshire. These little tubs were made for pulling them up to the trailers on stations, industries, airports.
Imagine you've got a 2-ton Fortum Major, then you stick another 2-ton of loader bucket and back actor bucket on it. It works all on hydraulics. No doubt we've got the rest of the JC Bulls collection coming around in a while. Back to David Brown's. David Brown started making diesel engines in about 1949. They were the first company to make a 4-cylinder diesel engine. Literally a swap round engine. You could put that in a petrol paraffin Crofmaster, retrofit it. It's still got the original scuttle on to keep the wind and protection for the driver. And it's got a very rare transport box on the back of this, little David Brown. You don't see many of those. You've done well to save that from rusting away. Usually a brown stain on the floor. This man been practicing reversing. He's getting a bit better. They made wheel tractors, but also they made the little 2D, which is a tool carrier if you need. Basically all the engine and gearbox is behind you. There's no hydraulic lift on this. There's a little air compressor between John's feet. That works on the air hydraulics, like if you like, valves. And that lifts and lowers it. Little 3-speed gearbox. It's had a little bit of an engine transport as transplant. You can have a little 2-cylinder 40 miles long. The crawler couldn't get to the end of the runway quick enough, so they decided to bring them back to the factory, take all the track version off and then put it onto a high-speed wheel. So that's basically what you go on holiday. You're actually pushed out by one of it. I don't think you do that then at Doncaster, do you? Airport, not nowadays. The 1200 David Brown Select-O-Matic, totally original. Please don't paint it. Keep just leaving diesel and engine oil on it. That came out about 1967, 67 horsepower. It was basically a 990 with a bigger engine built cab. This one's about 1976 to about 79, being a single door. There's no double door system like came out late 70s, early 80s. So he thought he'd bring the tractor back. No doubt it's been on the D-Day Memorial last year. It's a Caterpillar, but a big diesel engine. You couldn't start it in the battery. So they made another engine, a 2-cylinder flat engine on the back. You start the petrol engine, you then slide it into gear, and then that turns the big diesel engine to get that up and running.
Carlisle was one of the quick down there. Shape cycle
usually crumble away. There's nothing left of the cab unit. We're just looking at trophy. Down here, it's been up and down all weekend, fetching 5-6 gallon of water every time. Good to see. Keep practicing the reversing. We'll have the reversing challenge when we get a sec. International American company, started making tractors in the early 1920s and 30s, moved over to Doncaster from about 1949, and they usually have the 734s and the 575s and all that, 574s. Again, nice little cab on it, but it's before air conditioning comes in, and you get really warm in there, and the drumming, don't you? The drumming of the engine and the noise. But again, immaculately turned out. Nice to see that. You don't see many 574s. Nice to see. Do the paintwork any harm, and it doesn't rust away. A little 2-cylinder diesel engine. This was the first diesel engine what John Deere came out in about 1960. Hand clutch, there's a big lever on the right hand side, and David's getting used to driving this because he's usually on a Ford to N, which is a little bit lower gearbox, isn't it? You'll get used to that after a while. Then we got Dougie on his 656 XL. XL was a luxury cab, basically better springing suspension on the cab, rubber mounted. About 24 gears this has got, hasn't it? Very quick on the road. I'm hoping not to need you in a while. You might be doing a bit of tugging and pulling. When I need some of these trailers bobbing around. Alright, Doc. I'm a bit of a case nut, or is it a nut case, if you want my says. I like my little cases. I've been a tractor man for about 40 years now, and my first little one was for 40 quid. It's sat on my little bed for TK up there. I've not had a chance to get it off yet, but I might leave it on the lorry now. You swap caps, because you can't have a black cap on a case tractor. So there better be Duraglit in this, no doubt. In the next couple of 8 hours, they'll be sitting back there all weekend, next weekend, getting booked up ready for Ashover, won't they? Can you clean it up a bit, please? Back to us little farm halls. This one's what we call Cultivision. The driver, if you look up from the front, is literally sat on the right hand side. Again, it's a cultivator stroke tool. I know, it's getting deluxe now. Even a cushion seat. I know she's got wet through a couple of times, so she's decided to have a cab. Imagine having a mini diesel. That came out about late 50s, early 60s, the diesel engine version. Only 950cc, it's got the A-series mini engine basically. So imagine that, it'd do 100 to the gallon in a minute, that. 9-speed gearbox. Back to girl power. And we've got a little Dexter in what we call the fresh pink version. Does a lot of work for charity and road runs and makes a lot of money for all sorts. So well done to you. Nice to see that. It's got a little, I was told this morning, the battery's even half charged. These will start up. 6-speed gearbox. Very clever Ford. They made a 3.6 litre diesel or a 3.3 litre petrol with the same engine block. Literally changed all the bits over. Good to see that. Back to his little grey Fergies. Fergie diesel came out in about March 51. They made, like I say, 517,000 of these, and the 500,000th version is at the Coventry Transport Museum, just being restored. 4-cylinder Freeman Sanders engine. You've cut your fuel cost by 2/3 just by going onto diesel instead of petrol paraffin. And once it starts, it's all right. But again, a little bit dodgy in starting some of these, unless you've had a full engine kit. Nice to see that. After the success of the Fergie 20 from 1956, after the merger between Massey Harris and Ferguson, they came out with the Massey Harris Ferguson FE35. This is my vehicles, and they thought, well, what can we do with these army lorries? If we take the front axle off it, cut the near side drive shaft down a little bit, and then make it so it can fit under the tractor, then we can have 4-wheel drive. A lot of hills in Italy, and they need as much traction as they can. Again, it's nice to see this, and John's done a cracking job on this. I think you've won a little bit of silverware.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, a few years ago, a wonderful family friend of mine, Mr. John White from Swanwick, sadly left us. And John was a very big fan of boats and tractors, especially the early Dexters, the E27s and so on. And I'm fortunate enough
or even save up for another 15 quid and buy another exhaust for this one here. I don't know, is it just a piece of drain pipe you found at home, or car exhaust? Oh, brilliant. But what's a car exhaust? There was no one, a Massey 135, and they make thousands of them. It's just straight through. Alright, fair enough. Carry on then. It's nice to see an original Leyland. You don't see many of those. We'll save up for an exhaust on the field. Yeah, about 10 miles an hour these do in a 4-speed gearbox. Good to see. Got a little Fergie transport box on the back. Massey Harris was actually the people who bought out Massey's in 53, so they started making their own tractors. 70 ounces British tractor, Derbyshire. That's the one, isn't it, Chris? Is it Derbyshire? Alright. Fortune again, industrial this. I've seen this backing along the road. A normal Fortune end does about 4 or 5 miles an hour. You've only got 3-speed gearbox. They've got a 23C diesel engine. Again, it was after the grey Fergie TE20. Nice to see that. 6-speed gearbox. Deluxe because it's got a cushion seat. Back to us very early Super Major. Came out, like I say, from 51. All the was on the track, the tread. Lowered the pressure down from about 110 to about 12 PSI. That's who made rubber tyres. This is the last version of Alice made in England, Esseldine in Grantham. E stood for England, D was diesel and 40 horsepower. Richard's getting used to the gear linkage on this. You've got to literally feel where the gears are. Nice to see that. It's got the same engine as the little grey Ferguson, FE35. On his immaculately turned out TE Fergie. Wished out all over your electrics. That was early ones, though, the really early one. You used to have a winch on it, I think, this at one stage, with a gear on the end of the PTO there. Back to us. Power Majors and Super Majors. This one's got a hydraulic loader system on the front. Live drive, so you've got, amazing, you can something which is a little bit today or not? Not into get him to fill it up with juice today, because then you can use all the juice and then you can blame it on Dad, then can't you? Still wiping the tears away, looks good. Very early one that with the filled in wheel centres. Then we've got a contractor who's gone from absolutely massive with like 300 and 400 horsepower, multi-diggers and stuff like this, and he's going more small fry now. I've noticed Neil can't be bothered with all this big tractors and stuff like that. He's got the tractor puller up there, which is whacking out, what, 600 horsepower? It's got its cylinder head filled with concrete. You've opened the injectors. It's a 3130 John Deere, and you've literally can't bring that round because that only runs for what, 15 seconds, something like that. So from 15 seconds, shot up to there, and then switch it off. So you can't really have a bloke like me talking for hours about rusty old tractors, can you? So you brought a little, is it Petter diesel engine, twin cylinder, is it a 2-cylinder little Petter diesel, is it a Twait Tuster. Some I've seen with these have got the dumper truck on this bit. Alright, you can change it into...
Yeah, she were in Coronation Street for a bit, and she used to say, get lost.
Hold on, hold it.
Let me get down to the road. Go on, Pete, let's have you. We don't want to stop them on this street, folks. That's a little fatal.
We've got a little Garrett 1918 built Garrett Showman's tractor. 33259's the maker's number, and it's owned by James Ragsdale from Woodbeck in Nottinghamshire. We've got a Burrell Showman's engine. This one was built as a road locomotive and spent most of its working life on haulage work. Its first owners were J.B. Dugdale in Warwickshire. The Showman's fittings were added by a gentleman called Tom Gascoigne from Oxfordshire, and it's now owned by Richard and Linda Milbank of Stanton-on-the-Wolds in Nottinghamshire. Yeah. Right, I'm outside now, I've escaped. We have a Burrell Showman's engine, but in 2015 celebrated its 100th birthday. It's owned by David Ragsdale of Retford in Nottinghamshire. This one went new to Winds in Shropshire. It worked for the George Rogers in the Bristol area, and it's been with David Ragsdale since 1996. Now we have a Fowler Showman's engine that belongs to the Steele family from Scotland. This one was originally built as a steamroller, and it went new to the Mechanical Spraying and Grouting Company of Reading. It was converted to a steamroller back in the late 2000s. As I say, it's owned by the Steele family from Scotland. Now we have an Evelyn and Porter steamroller called Katie, owned by Mountview from Leicester. This one went to work in now there are one or two engines that aren't going to make it down here today because of the wet conditions, but there is a very nice 1860 built Brown and May portable. Brown and May built their steam engines and devices in Wiltshire. It's one of the very early examples of a steam driven machine, and it's owned by the Shearman family. They've owned it since 1981. Following on and just coming into the arena, we have a Burrell traction engine. This is an Aberdeenshire type. There was only 6 of the Aberdeenshire type. We have a Burrell steamroller owned by Mount Woodbine of Chesterfield. This one went new to John Ball in Lancashire. It later passed into the fleet of Isaac Ball. Ball engines were, well, traction engines and the steamrollers they owned were well noticed by the canopy and the toolbox on the back of this steamroller. This one's been with Mount Woodbine for a couple of years now. It came from Anthony Cowell in Lancashire. A Russon and Bronze traction engine owned by David Barnes from Papelwick. We usually see this engine at work on the saw bench or driving a threshing drum, but David's having it changed this weekend. Rustons were big builders of steam engines in the county of Lincolnshire that was famous for many steam engine builders. This one came the way of David and his late father Harry Palmer from Edwards' yard in Swindon. And if you want to know about restoring a traction engine, ask David. He estimates that he spent over 7,000 hours restoring that engine from a derelict hulk. A Garrett steam tractor, you can see from the legend on the canopy top, Sadler Brothers of Stourbridge. It's called Anchor. These little steam tractors were used on light haulage work, sort of furniture removers, etc. This one's owned by David Bosworth of Brackley Gate. Came into preservation in the sort of 1960s. It was owned by a gentleman called Alan Tinky from Shackerston in Warwickshire. If you've been around the rallies for a long time, it was painted bright yellow and red, but it's been returned after sort of some 20 years of restoration by David and the rest of the team. Following on, we a very rare Garrett steamroller. Interesting thing about this machine is that it's making a return to the steam rally scene after 16 years of restoration. It's owned by Richard Muller from Clayton West near Huddersfield. The first owners of this one were the council at Southend-on-Sea. Then for 2 years it worked for the War Department, then it went up to Cumberland Council, later owned by Suttons of Beckermont. Was first started to be restored in Lincolnshire. That was never completed, but it passed to Ted Ainsworth of Chesterfield. Ted did a lot of the restoration work on it, but sadly that too was never completed, and Ian Brackenbury from Mansfield completed it, and it's been with Alex Baker for the last few years. So that's the Clacton Urban Council steamroller. Now we have Andrew Biglands from Sheffield with a black Fowler traction engine that 1908 build. Actually was exported by Fowlers out to Australia. Then in the 1940s the firebox failed, left in a shed, and sort of in the mid-1990s it was brought back to this country and subsequently restored. It travels around the rallies of the East Midlands from its Sheffield base. Now this is a different built steamroller, ladies and gentlemen, built by Ruthermeyer in Germany, called Survivor. As you can see by the name, well, on this side, on my side of the canopy, I know it's different on the other side. It's owned by Andrew Turner from Barnsley, but it was owned by Mr. Boswinkle of Nijmegen in Holland. Now we have a French-built steamroller, Chatina, Saint-Etienne. It's owned by John Carr from Sheffield. Now a lot of these engines were sort of based on the British built steamrollers, so you'd have to have a look at these engines when they're in the park, but certainly for something different, this one's called Bellow. So that's the Chatina steamroller. The big red Evelyn importer just coming into the arena is owned by Laurie Fletcher from Ashgate, Chesterfield. Travelled on the road here to be with us this weekend at what is the 49th Cromford Steam Rally. 49, ladies and gentlemen, would you believe it? Right, just tell you a little bit about this one. This one is 1916 build, and it went new to Lichfield in Staffordshire, where it worked on contract work for Staffordshire County Council. This one too's had a number of owners in preservation, like John Black, and Laurie purchased it from Mike Ward in Nottinghamshire, and it's been with him since 1992. Called Old Faithful, and I'm sure it is Old Faithful. Now, our last steamer, I'm reliably informed, is celebrating its 100th birthday. I don't know whether we're going to sing happy birthday, but well done to this little Garrett steam tractor. 100 years old. It's a full CD type that was ordered by the War Department with a crane engine. Never actually happened, but by 1921 it was with the showman John Cole of Bristol, and he stayed with them for 30 years. I can remember seeing this fella when it was owned by Jim Cook and Shrewsbury, some of those Bishop's Castle rallies years ago. It's owned by Carl. Oh right, has it? I've not really studied form on that. Yeah, they tell me Jim Cook's nameplate's on the side. But yeah, it's owned by Carl Hayes of Chesterfield. They acquired it from the Turner Brothers of Foreman. So, Dave's inspecting it now. Am I right, Dave? Oh, I can breathe again. Yeah, well, full marks to all these people with these engines, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely marvellous show for this, the 49 Cromford Steam Rally. It's all come from humble beginnings way back on Cromford Meadows. Anyway, it's well, better than one you know. Anyway, well done to John Carr for that. And he said he's 40 minutes special to the occasion because it ought to be a lot wetter than it was down here. But yeah, so Junior Olympic swimming champion there. So now we've got the big world leaving the arena of Richard and Linda Millman. We've got David Ragsdale's world. The work for the showman George Rogers and Jimmy Sondrick. And the Fowler Steam showman engine belonging to the Steels from Scotland. Station in Cromford to the paper mill, run by Oliver Martington, Katie, owned by Matthew from Leicester that worked in Sri Lanka, or Ceylon as we knew it, built by Evelyn and Porter in the 1930s, Peter Green's Burrell, Aberdeenshire. picture of Roy Green's Fowler traction engine. Went new to JP down in Devon.
I walk down there. We're all.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, just while we can get to the steam engines out the arena, the raffle has been thrown on the Matlock Men Cap stand, and it's to Joe Baxter. Now, I'm not quite sure whether the Joe is male or female, but it's Joe Baxter. I do have a telephone number, but I'm not going to read it out on the air. Joe Baxter is going to next cap.
After the line, world steamroller that went to all Fowler Road, locomotive, returned to this country after 25 years in Germany, and by David Shelford on. A bit of a rolling out demonstration, are we? To keep trying, you know, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, David Bosworth and Garrett. Steam tractor. The Sadler Brothers of Stourbridge in the West Midlands, what we call the West Midlands. Followed by the Foster, 1920 build, owned by John and Olive Bosworth from Smalley. Don't believe that, Tim. Right, yeah. Lemonade, ladies and gentlemen. Hey? You have to take it with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've got a bit of a snarl in the gate hole. Who's the policeman directing operations? Oh, we're away, but things are moving. What? Yeah. No, he's back here, he's yeah. I might let him out before you did. If said it might be glad, but Glenn's on this one to the back here. Anyway, not me, he says.
do now.
All right, Alex.
So I can head back to the car.
Have you done your rolling job? That's all it was. I could find you a job in Kegger, you know.
Yeah.
And Alex here with the X-Track Urban District Round 20 roller. Regularly busy on the road, specialised accountants, even trouble required to register in the far side of Leicester.
My biggest trouble is got nowhere to build it. Hey?
Right, Alex is away. I don't think it's going to roll
Yeah,
anyway on board this time. Right, well, we're starting to move the miniature steamers around, so I'm just going to catch up with them when we get up here. We're just letting the gates all clear before we move the rest of the big ones. So that's going to keep me busy.
Backside gate with two white dogs who are struggling and tumbling.
That's it. Yeah, however you see it.
That's a bobby that we just got not through that one.
And,
That's bedroom, must be that one.
Looks to my untrained eye that we have a boat and steam lorry coming around. We don't have a large example of a boat and steam lorry here this weekend, but we do have a number of miniatures. As you can see, the 31 little bits hatting, a burrow. Now I'm intrigued. Now how did you get this name? Your granddaughter, he's got to look after you. You've named it after the wife, then. You've not fell out. Right. Oh, she's smiling anyway. What scale?
4 inch.
Your name?
Sam.
Sam, well done. Now we'll just have a quick word with Brian here. Now, Brian, how are we doing? All right?
Brilliant.
Good? That's it, Dave. Yeah. Now, Brian, you used to help at Cromford, didn't you?
Definitely, yeah. When they used to have the hot sun
cow pie and all that on Saturday night. Those were the days. Anyway, Brian, nice to see you. Just tell us a little bit about Cracky. You've had this one a while, haven't you?
It was previously owned and built by an old man, Walter, and me. We bought it off about 5 years ago.
Right, and your daughter's driving, is she then? She takes charge all the time, does she?
Not all the time, but yeah.
You get a look in some of the time. And your name is? Where'd you come from? Huddersfield. Very good. Okay then. Come on then, Miss Blackface. They've all got. I think
Get rid of these. So, from the bottom, let's move them out, please, as quickly as we can. Because we're nearly back on time again, believe it or not. Whoa, just a minute. Spot the deliberate mistake. I forget my name before it. Here he is, look. That's Charlie. And where does Charlie come from? Where do you live?
In Hope.
In Hope. We all live there, don't we? We're all in Hope. Oh dear. Now, are you ready? Now, what I want you to say is... Ready?
3, 2, 1, go.
You see what you've just done? Hey? Go do it again. Come on, once more then. Are you ready?
3, 2, 1, go.
So we're going to be taking a couple of pictures of the top end, but we can start moving them out, please. You start moving from the bottom. Now, don't complain about the tires. That's you. So here we go. Now, if you want to have a ride on the fire engine, he's up there somewhere in a bucket he's going to give me. There we are, look. Now, I don't know if my two wonderful scout lifters are about to come and help me again. Richard, if you're a good lady about that can come and give us a hand with, I think she's coming. She's either waving to me or threatening me, I don't know which.